Best way to get blood out of clothing. Here is my white shirt. As you can see, everything's white except for this part right here. I had got blood on my arm, and that's inside out. That's outside. So I'm going to show you the best way to get blood out of clothing, white or darks. A little bit different when it's white. You can add more things to white clothing than you can darks. You got to be more careful with darks. But with the white, I got my hot water. Some people say cold, but I say hot. This has been setting for at least a day, so the blood is set in. So we're going to show how to get this blood out. First, I like to rinse with hot water for this one on the spot where, and if you have a sprayer, do that. I usually make sure, obviously make sure your sink is clean, and set that down right there, and then spray out as much of it as you can with just the water, and quite a bit will come off. I don't know, I guess it just obviously loosens the blood up, you know, gets the fabric wet, so the product works a little better. So I will spray on that blood for a little while until I see it come up a little bit lighter than what it is coming now. It's already getting lighter. But this is why anytime you get, you know, especially blood, at the moment you notice blood on clothing, it's best to get that piece of clothing underwater immediately, because it doesn't have time to set in and stain. But I'm almost positive I can get this out and it will look like it was never there without soaking for 24 hours like some people do. I mean, I can get this done within an hour, including the wash time. We will see. Okay, so it definitely got a lot lighter than that, just hot water spraying on it. The sprayer, like I said, put pressure on it a little better to break it up. Dawn is really good for colors and whites. Dawn is a great pre-treatment. Works just as well, I think, as Tide or any of those, you know, Tide Rescue spray and wash. I don't even get those anymore. What are they? Spray and wash. You know, those kind of things. Pre-treatment. Yeah. So you can see it got lighter, right? It's not as bloody looking. Looks like actually a lot came out already. So now that I've loosened that up, I'm going to put some Dawn, just regular Dawn, and I don't need that much, but I'm going with it. Kind of blot. You want to blot more than scrub, honestly, because scrubbing is just spreading. So I just like squeeze it together like that, and just squeeze, 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 squeeze. And you can see it's getting lighter and lighter. Just squeeze it, squeeze it. And you can see it's getting a lot lighter. Okay, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Let it, look at it. A lot lighter than it was before. Can't even tell it was blood at this point, but I do see another spot that I didn't wet up here that has blood on it. So I'm going to squirt that with some water while that Dawn soaks there for a minute. And here we go with that. The sprayer comes in handy. It gives that pressure from the water. And I know a lot of people say cold water works best, but I think that's with like delicate clothing. This is a Under Armour t-shirt. It's pretty heavy quality clothing. Like, it's not a delicate, you know, type of shirt that will fall apart in the dryer. Like, I don't hang this to dry. It goes in the dryer, you know, like that kind of normal wash type of shirt. So spraying out that blood as much as possible. And while we got the water going, I'm going to go to that spot that was bloody. Spray out some of that Dawn to get some excess blood out. And this is no bleach at all. Because, you know, bleach is great. I love bleach in small amounts. And the main reason I hate bleach and I try to avoid it is it will literally put holes in your clothing. It's just really, really strong. So I usually dilute my bleach, so it's half water, half bleach, because bleach is just really, really strong, and I hate having nice clothes and then using bleach on them, or pillows or sheets or whatever, and then getting holes in them. That's the worst. Nobody likes that. So yeah, if you're going to use bleach, use it sparingly. That's why I do all this pre-treatment and never, ever, 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 ever mix Dawn and bleach together. Mixing Dawn and bleach together is a bad chemical reaction. Do not do that. Like, you can use Dawn like I'm doing right now, and as long as you thoroughly rinse the Dawn out, then you can go through with some bleach, but you don't put them together. You make sure the Dawn is completely gone before you try to add some bleach in there. Okay, now you see the spot right there. That is a blood spot too. I'm going to put some Dawn on that because I didn't do that one yet. And like I said, blot, 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 blot. Not really scrub, more of a, like, I don't know, like you're playing that little game back in the day with the 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know. Tell my age, but anyway, yeah, it's already, I mean, seriously, like just that little bit of blotting with Dawn, yeah, it's great. So you can like squeeze it together like that, but I do not recommend scrubbing. Scrubbing is just going to spread the spot and the stain, whatever. It's going to spread it, and you're going to have more to try to get out. So we don't want to scrub. We want to squeeze with pressure or blot like that. And that is already gone just from that. Come on here. I don't even see it anymore. Do you? No, that is already gone. So, but I'm going to do a rinse because it gets the blood out, even if, you know, I don't plan on using bleach in this load. So I don't have to fully rinse the Dawn, but I just want to make sure there's as little bit of blood as possible on this shirt before I put it in the wash with the whites. But I will tell you, there's another ingredient I use for clothing that ends up with stains, especially blood stains, and that is peroxide. Works as a great alternative peroxide is a great alternative to bleach, especially with whites. Peroxide and bleach together are not recommended to be used together. I will admit I've used them on really, really bad. Only if the whites are like, if it's something white and it's like so dingy and gross and it really, really needs some serious, I don't know, scrubbing. I don't know. I rarely do it, so I can't even remember last time I did it. But peroxide, you put bleach on something and then you put some peroxide on it, and yeah, it'll start that bubbling. But I don't recommend mixing those two. Just like Dawn and bleach, do not recommend those. Okay, so this spot that was really dark is definitely lighter. So I'm going to do another blot of Dawn. And blot like that. And you almost see it getting like a green color. How the blood's going away, it makes it look a little green. So I've got both, one side of the blood here, one side of the blood here, and I'm just like blotting them against each other, or squeezing them against each other. Will work too. So you can see it's like really disappearing. I think you can see. You see that little spot, but now it looks like it was just like a coffee spot, but it was blood. It was a full circle of blood that had been sitting on the shirt for more than a day, which, shame on me, I know better, and I should not have let that happen, but it did. Now I'm gonna look for any other spots that look like they still have that blood look on them, and I'm going to put some more Dawn on. And just keep squeezing, and if you got the two spots, you can start to scrub a bit, but try not to scrub and do the blotting, okay? Let's see. Now, let's see if there's any other bloody spots. Or any stains in general, and yes, it looks like, and you want to see if, like, I know that spot was from the inside of the shirt, but this spot, I don't know if it's on the inside or the outside, so I'm gonna, I think it might be on the outside, but I'm gonna rest it. You definitely want to put your Dawn on where the spot is. Like if it was underneath your shirt, that's where you want to put the Dawn. If it was on the outside of your shirt, like, you know, dripping coffee as you take a drink, you want to put it on that spot, directly on the spot, you know what I mean. So that almost looks gone just with now. Okay, I see it. Okay, I can't tell, and if you don't know if it was from the inside or outside, you just can put Dawn on the both sides. So there's that part. I'm gonna squeeze it together. Squeeze and plop, plop, plop. I'm telling you, this is cheaper. Dawn is cheap, okay? And OxyClean, Spray and Wash, Tide Rescue, all those things are just so expensive and they don't last. Like this whole Dawn bottle was less than $2 and it lasts a little bit, goes a long, long way. So not only do I think it works better, but it also is cheaper. So it's a win-win, and it's versatile. You can use it for like everything other than mixing. Like I said, do not mix Dawn and bleach together. That is a big no-no. Let's see. Okay, so depending on the severity, like this was legit blood, so it was a pretty strong stain, and we're getting it out just with Dawn alone. Okay, now I'm going to show you when I add some peroxide to the mix of this little stain. Now it's, look how light it's gotten. Once I add some peroxide to it, it is going to whiten even better. And then in the wash machine, with the peroxide in the laundry detergent and put a little bit of peroxide on this as like a spot treatment, it is going to work wonders. And I'm telling you, it will be gone. Yeah, so I don't know. I just think more people need to know. Like I've got 3 daughters, 2 have, you know, already turned of adult age and moved out, and they still call and ask me how to get stains out. So, you know, I'm like just trying to help anyone who might not know, or you know, younger adults, young adults like my children that are, you know, doing the adult thing on their own, but they're still young and they still need guidance. Just because they're 20 or 18 or 30 or 40. It doesn't matter how old your kid is. You're their parent. You're supposed to give them as much guidance, knowledge, support as you can, right? And that's what I think. That's how I feel. And that's what I will do until the day I die. But I like helping people in general, but of course my family is like priority. But if I can help others, that's why I'm trying to post this to YouTube. To help others who may have a problem getting those stubborn blood stains out. You can see all I've been doing is Dawn, and now that the stain is mostly gone, it doesn't matter if you do the what I told you not to do earlier. It doesn't matter. Now you can just like, now we just want to get that Dawn in there. So now we can do some scrubbing like it's back in the washboard days, and washing machines weren't invented yet. Okay, and then I am going to let that, you know what, I'm going to submerge this for a second, just to make sure I got all the spots, because I don't know how many of those spots I didn't, that was the only spot, the big one that I've seen that I just showed you. That was the only one I noticed that I was really worried about, but there might be some little ones. So I just want to make sure I'm hitting all the spots before I put it in the wash. And you'll see I do a pre-wash with this. And this doesn't go directly into like a final wash cycle to go into the dryer. No, this is just getting ready for a pre-wash. This right here is not a pre-wash. This is a pre-treat, stain treatment type deal for me. The pre-wash is where I take the clothing that have, you know, some staining or you know, any like socks, things that are just grimy and dirty. I always throw them in a quick wash cycle just to do what am I saying? A pre-wash cycle. A quick wash is my pre-wash cycle. So I throw like socks, underwear, and clothing that has staining. Even after I've pre-treated, this is my pre-treating in the sink like this. After that, I will put this in a quick wash for that's my pre-wash before I actually wash it with my normal washing method, which is a whole nother video, because I am a bit of a laundry queen here. Not to brag, but I have done a lot of laundry in my days. I had my own business. I'm still self-employed with cleaning, and I've cleaned a lot of residential homes. So I do have quite a bit of knowledge when it comes to cleaning. So I will share that. And like I said, yeah, you can take bleach and pour it on this, but I guarantee you, for one, it's going to eat holes in your shirt real quick, and your shirt's going to fall apart in a couple weeks if you're lucky. Maybe sooner than a couple weeks. So you want to avoid bleach unless it's an absolute necessary, like there is no alternative at all. So here it is. It's going to be the last one for that spot. Last bit of Dawn. And I got Dawn on sale the other day. It was buy one, get one free, so I'm not using it as sparingly. I know that's not a great reason, but I really didn't need this much Dawn. I'm using a lot. You really don't need this much Dawn if you don't like to waste. You know, some people are like way more frugal than I am. I know I should probably be more frugal than I am, but sometimes convenience, when you're on, you know, deadlines to get things done by, you know, convenience matters, and it's worth the extra spots of Dawn or whatever it may be. You know what I mean? That's what why people pay for certain things, is the convenience. It's, you know, the risk versus reward type thing. Okay, so we're getting that nice and soapy, and it's creating little lengths and hairs. And I've been using hot water this whole time. No cold water. You can use cold water. I just find that hot water does a much better job. Unless, like I said, it's a delicate item, like a shirt that you would wash on delicate cycle, maybe in a laundry. What are those called? The laundry bags, delicate bags. If it's like one of those type of shirts, like a bra or something, I would use cold water and not hot water. Also, depending on the severity of the stain. Like this is straight up blood, so that's a pretty serious stain in my book. Okay, so I'm just making sure I got done on both sides. I don't remember which side I started, so I'm just gonna hit both again, or both, like the inside and the outside, just to make sure, because I don't even remember now. It doesn't hurt. It won't hurt anything, because I'm gonna rinse this before I put it in the pre-wash thingy. Pre-wash cycle. This is my pre-wash right here. Pre-treat. This is my pre-wash, pre-treat type deal. I don't know. I don't have a name for it. I would call it more like a pre-treating. I'm pre-treating. And then my pre-wash is where I'm going to go do a quick wash of the clothing. Like this is definitely going into a quick wash load with light colors before I wash it normally. It may be overkill to some of you, but I am very serious when it comes to laundry. It's a passion of mine, maybe a bit OCD of mine. Some people have told me I've got a problem, and I overkill with laundry, but it brings me a lot of happiness and peace and comfort, and I don't know why, but it just does. So yeah, I have my reasons. Okay, so I don't know, but that is where that big red blood spot was. Now there is some red in the shirt, the red coloring, so don't confuse that for blood. This is the spot where that big spot of blood was. With Dawn in hot water, now all it is just that it kind of looks like coffee or soda or tea spilled on it maybe. We got the majority of the blood out, which was the goal here. Now I'm going to do some rinsing. And this is where I'm going to go grab my peroxide. And let that sit for a sec, because, like I said, it's a great alternative to bleach. So, peroxide and Dawn are two of my favorite pre-treat items. Go to for pre-treat clothing stains. So I'm going to get some peroxide and put it on. Make sure I get the one that looks, I mean, it's pretty good when I gotta look for the stain. It's like right there, so I don't even see the little one I saw before, which that will come out in the pre-wash, which is my quick wash, normal cycle, quick wash cycle in the wash machine. But this is just my pre-treat type deal thing. And we're going to take this peroxide and just regular peroxide. They're usually $1 for one of these at Kroger. Though normally, almost always 10 for 10. So just gonna let that sit there for a bit, let it soak in. If you remember, using peroxide as a kid, you fall and scrape your knee, and your mom would put peroxide on it before she put a Band-Aid on it. And, that was supposed to, I think that was supposed to get rid of bacteria and germs. All I remember as a kid when that happened to me was the bubble effect, and I thought it was cool. When the peroxide hits the blood on your skin, it bubbles up, and that's similar to what it does with clothing. Peroxide is like the best go-to for a blood stain. And you can see this sleeve is basically white, all white again. I mean, there's very, very faint of, and that's the inside where I think the stain started from, the inside. But we're gonna get the outside too, just to be sure. It's not gonna hurt anything, to be safe. I mean, I don't even see a stain, so it's looking pretty good to me. Just pour, like I'm just squirting. That's plenty. And then just squeeze it in there. We don't want it falling in the drain though. We want to keep it in the shirt as much as possible. And then I will show you what that red stain looked like right now. Okay, let's get this shirt back to, pretty sure it was this side, but I'm gonna look at both just to make sure. Okay, so here's our shirt. Here's one sleeve. This is the sleeve, I believe the stain was on this sleeve. And as you can see, I don't see the blood anywhere. I do see, I don't know if it's a shadow from the sun. I'm trying to move it for the lighting in the sun. That's the inside of it. Here's the outside of it. And there's red from the Under Armour, but no blood stain. And that was just some Dawn and peroxide. That's the side I believe it was. Let's check the other side just to make sure. Here is the other side. And that is just some lint, I think. What is that lint? Oh no, what is that? Get that off. Looks like it could have been mascara maybe. I don't know, something like that. Definitely wasn't lint because it didn't come off easily. But you wouldn't believe how much comes off with just some squirt of water. But yeah, here's the other sleeve. So I think it was the other sleeve, the one I already showed you, but I'm just showing both sleeves just in case. What Dawn mostly did, and then peroxide did the rest. Because the sleeves are completely white to me. So yeah. And then of course I'm gonna have it go into a quick wash, pre-wash cycle, and you will see it'll come out looking like it never had a stain on it. It'll look like a brand new white shirt. I am certain of that. That's one thing I will give myself credit for, is I can get a stain out of anything. There hasn't been one stain that I've encountered that I cannot get out on clothing. I don't know what it is. I guess it's the passion I have for it and how much I enjoy it, that I just, also the experience of working, you know, for cleaning homes most of my life, not only my home, but homes for other people most of my life. You know, that's given me a lot of experience. We're just gonna hit some on right there because I don't know what that was. But yeah, you'll see. I'll show you the final product. You remember seeing that big red blood spot on my sleeve? You just wait till I wash this and dry it, because I will dry it because it's a regular heavy duty t-shirt. You know, it's not like it's gonna fall apart. No delicate here. And you'll see the end result with just Dawn and peroxide going into the wash. And then, you know what? I honestly don't even think I have to pre-treat this in a quick wash, because I've pretty much pre-treated it right here. I mean, like, I've submerged this thing. So, I will show you that load when I get to that load. I have something in the wash right now, so we're gonna have to wait till I get to the white loads. And I'm just gonna set this here and show you the end result.